Breaking news, a yurt went up in flames early this morning in South Moorhead. Firefighters were called right around 3 a.m. to the 1300 block of 12th Street South and found 10 to 12-foot flames shooting out of the yurt, which was being used as a business on the property.
There were no injuries reported, and there was no damage to the home as well. A yurt is a round canvas structure that's historically used by nomadic groups in Asia. And you know it's bad when even the biggest trees in town topple over and are uprooted. That's what happened when powerful storms roared through the valley last night. Viewer Nancy Peterson sent us this shot of a massive tree on its side in Golden Lake, North Dakota, up near Findlay.
And a gas station in Hillsboro also took a hit. Check this out. John Brown snapped this picture as the high winds shifted the canopy at the Casey's convenience store.
Families, farmers, businesses, and community members will all be cleaning up today over the valley. And the valley today is Callie Hubbard. She joins us live in Steele County this morning with more on what she's seeing out there. Good morning, Callie.
Hi, good morning, Lisa and Jordan. Yeah, right now I'm standing where this large tree fell over last night. I mean, look at this. I've been covering storms for a little bit now, but this is by far the biggest tree that I've seen in these, past week and a half of storms. Look at the roots coming out of the ground here. And this tree completely toppled on top of this home. We were outside of another house in our last live hit just a little bit ago, but this is one of the other houses that had major storm damage. I mean, the tree goes all the way up onto this blue house here right off of Golden Lake here next to Findlay, North Dakota. We can get a close-up on what actually happened up here. You can see it looks like the tree may have collapsed the house a little bit on that back corner of the house. You can see the wood sticking out there, but yeah, the branches just are going through the home. And I want you to take a look at this. I'm not exactly sure where exactly it came from, but this is a grill. So at some point in the night, around 7:30 or so, is when the wind swept through, or the storm swept through the Golden Lake area, knocking this grill over, and then other parts of the grill are scattered around the yard. And then if we go up here too, it looks like the door was knocked off of this home as well. We can get a close-up of that, and you can just see debris, trees all throughout the yard. We were actually just at a house that had its roof ripped off of it. There was also about 9 pontoon boats that are a total loss as well. So the Steele County Sheriff told me that he was out here tarping out that house that had the roof torn off of it last night. But we're going to be out here all morning, so stay with us on the valley today as we continue to cover the damage here.
That's a massive tree that was knocked over, and grills thrown around like nothing.
And just completely uprooted, not just the tree snapping, but the entire root system in the ground being lifted out and then thrown onto the house. So yeah, major cleanup underway today. Callie Hubbard reporting live. Thank you very much.
Let's get a check now of what we can expect weather-wise post-storm, but there's still some weather to talk about this morning.
Yeah, we have some rain and thunder out there now to start off our day in our eastern viewing area. And that's going to delay you from heading out to assess the damage there. And we've got more places that have had some big time damage. This is up in the Donaldson area in northwest Minnesota. A grain bin toppled onto a semi there. Scott shared this photo with us. He also took another shot of another area where it looks like a grain bin has been destroyed as well, with standing water in the field here. We had quite a bit of rain, a lot of rain in some areas, with some flood advisories out there this morning as a result, and just some really incredible images that you've been sharing with us. You can go to our gallery, valleynewslive.com, to check all of them out from the storms last night, or maybe you have one to upload. You could do that there. And this is lightning in Hillsboro taking its own wild path. Thanks, Jason, for sharing this incredible shot. So here's a look at the radar right now. You could see the heavy rain over to the east, and we're quieting down into the west. So basically eastern North Dakota looking a lot quieter than what we're dealing with into Minnesota at this point in time. At least these storms are not as strong, and in fact they're losing that storm quality, as we're not really seeing seeing any lightning now at this point in time in our viewing area. There is some lightning just east of us over toward Brainerd, but in Bemidji, back over to Park Rapids, just some good steady rain coming down, and it's been going on all morning long throughout the valley today and may continue for some time, and that adds up. So we're talking the potential for some localized flooding too. So gradually this moves on here in our hour-by-hour planner this round. We can't rule out the potential for some showers or thunder showers we head into the day today, but the overall trend will be for things to quiet down, especially into this afternoon. In eastern North Dakota, we're definitely going to see some quieter weather, some more sunshine. Temperatures getting more into the 70s rather than the 90s, so some big changes happening with this storm system that's been working its way through. And this afternoon, we could see some stronger storms yet again fire up closer to that system as it continues to depart. So we got to keep a close eye on things there in Wadena and then the Bemidji area too. Heading into the nighttime hours tonight, this continues to clear, and we start off what will be a quiet night into tonight and into Friday as well. So severe storm risk more into the St. Cloud, Duluth area, Minnesota, but we're right on the edge of it. So we're going to have to, again, watch that closely. For tomorrow, looking beautiful, upper 70s, mostly sunny skies. This weekend, still unsettled, but that intense wind, the intense heat will be gone, and we'll see some chances for rainbows Saturday and Sunday. And now for a look at traffic, here's Devin Fry with the Valley Today's Traffic on the Move.
Thanks, Lisa. We're finishing up our drive for this hour on I-94, and one good thing about this cloud cover is that we can actually head east, which we normally can't do because of the sun. It kind of affects the camera. But anyway, looking at the roadways right now, over on the westbound lanes of I-94, it's a little bit more crowded than what we're dealing with here on the east, but get more loaded up. It started off a little bit busier this morning than what we were experiencing, say, yesterday, for example. So it's just been building up slowly but surely, and we're kind of getting to the point where things are getting a little bit crowded in some spots of the interstate. Now, the big story today is going to be on I-29. They're closing down the leftmost northbound lane on I-29 starting today as they continue the road work there. Now, the reason we're not on there right now is because all lanes are currently open, and we know what I-29 looks like at this point. Now, we don't know when that lane is going to be closed down, but expect that to start today. We're going to keep checking out the roadways, but for right now, for your Traffic on the Move, I'm Devin Fry.
Fargo's Human Rights Commission is making plans for a large group at its meeting later today. They'll be issuing a statement on George Floyd's death, and they're providing a 1-hour public comment opportunity for people to sound off, and they're going to open that to people in the community.
Now, there are social distancing measures in place for public meetings, including a maximum of 40 members of the public in the commission chambers and 13 in the atrium. You can also comment by phone. Just call the City Planning Department prior to the meeting. That meeting starts at noon in the Fargo City Hall Commission chambers. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum says the state will formally recognize Friday as Juneteenth Day.
He is encouraging people to observe and learn more about this day commemorating the end of slavery. The governor says his proclamation comes as we renew our commitment to the ideals of democracy and liberty, justice, and equality for all citizens. It's been 2 weeks since a riot in downtown Fargo, and the group One Fargo continues to raise questions about policies within the Fargo Police Department, including the lack of regular psychological evaluations on officers. Police tell us those evaluations are required before an offer of employment, but they're not required through an officer's career. The Moorhead Police Department has just implemented a new program to help officers with their mental health. As Fargo searches for a new police chief, Mayor Tim Mahoney says candidates should come prepared with ideas to help implement change within the department.
There are questions about whether 2 weekend marches in Fargo will be breaking the law, since organizers don't yet have permits to hold those marches. Mayor Tim Mahoney says permits are needed. He sent out a statement late yesterday afternoon, which says in part that the requirements for liability insurance are in place to protect the personal liability of those who are organizing the march. The mayor also says the 4 members of One Fargo who are planning the rally and march will be liable for any damage in downtown Fargo. The mayor's comments aren't sitting well with the ACLU, which responded by saying if Mayor Mahoney is serious about mending years of racial injustice, he needs to stop making statements that chill free speech and start showing that he's not only listening, but is also dedicated to taking action. New information this morning on that missing Minnesota man with dementia that we first told you about yesterday on the Valley Today. A mother and daughter found him alive in their bean field more than 24 hours after he disappeared while riding his bike in Spicer, Minnesota. Sue Peterson and her daughter spotted what they first thought was a log, but then saw something move and realized it was 83-year-old Donald Wieberdink.
The retired nurse says Wieberdink was sunburned and dehydrated, but otherwise seemed okay. The sheriff's department had 2 Civil Air Patrol planes and several hundred people from the area ready to start a large-scale search when they got word that he was found yesterday.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. 33% of dads say this is what they want for Father's Day.
The answer this morning is beer. Any day of the year will work to give Dad that beer as well, so we don't need to just give it to him on Father's Day. But thank you for tuning in here on the Valley today, and we want to reassure you that we are working hard to make sure you are staying informed during this COVID-19 pandemic. Several ways to do that. ValleyNewsLive.com.